Hello, Orange Room friends. It's Anne again. It's been a while since I saw you last, and I really miss you. I hope you had a great spring break. Let's sing our hello song. 1, 2, 3. Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Hola, 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 ¿y cómo estás? Muy bien, y espero que tú también. Okay, since it's been a while, let's say hi to all our Orange Room friends. I'll start with the morning class. Hello to Juliana and Nora and Carolyn and Santiago and Ilan and Bella and Jet and Seamus and William and Mariana and Nick and Maya and Emily and Kareem and Clara and Jasper. And hello to Raina and Michelle, of course. And then here's our afternoon. Hello to Madison and Vicky and Caitlin and Maeve and Ari and Ben and Ariane and Henry and Olivia and Eva and Desmond and Sadie and Iman and Micah and Lucy. And of course, hello to Linda and Maria and Michelle. And I wanted to say happy birthday to Henry. He had a birthday last week. I think his birthday was on April 8th, I believe. So, happy birthday, Henry. So anyway, now that we're looking at our calendar, let's figure out what day it is today. So, first of all, yesterday was Sunday. So, if yesterday was Sunday, what would today be? Should we sing our song? Let's try it. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, I think we did this on Monday. So, whoops, I don't have my Monday sign to put up here, but we know it's Monday, so we have to go down. Monday, here's Monday. And last week was April 6th, and this week is April 13th. Okay, and we have to see what our pattern is. So we've added some numbers since I saw you last. Let's see what we've got. Purple umbrella, purple umbrella, purple umbrella, yellow umbrella. Purple, 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 yellow. Purple, 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 yellow. I bet it's going to be purple. So purple umbrella with a 1 and a 3, which is 13. Okay. Now, I was thinking it's finally starting to really show some signs of spring. So one of the things that most reminds me of spring are flowers. And I was thinking, what could we do that would use materials from your house that you might have to make some spring flowers? And I have some examples here of some spring flowers that I made using some things you might have from home. So I've got a whole tray of different things here that I want to show you. So let's move this back so we can see. There we go. Okay. So, first of all, do you recognize this? This is one of those paper tubes from the toilet paper roll that we usually collect and have at our maker's table, right? So I used that for a stem, and I took a marker and just colored on the paper tube, kind of like this, to make it look green like a stem. And then what do you think this is? So let's see. I had some yellow paper and I just tore it kind of like this. You could use a scissors too if you have a scissors, but I tore it like this, and I took some glue, and I have both this kind of glue or a glue stick, and I put some glue in the middle, and then I took another piece of torn paper and I stuck it on top. So I've got some glue in the middle, and then I took another piece of torn paper and I stuck it kind of like an X. X marks a spot. Then I took another piece of torn paper or cut. Either works because it actually, I think it kind of looks, sometimes the edges of a flower petal is kind of bumpy like a torn piece of paper. So it doesn't have to be perfect because it kind of might look like the way a real flower looks. Okay, now I've glued another piece across my X. So I've kind of got, let's see how many petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I can put something in the middle. In this case, I had a little bit of tissue paper, and I took a little piece. Oops, this piece just fell in the water. We don't want that piece. Let me take another new piece. Okay, so I'm going to tear a little piece. I'm going to tear a little piece of paper off, and I'm just going to scrunch it. And then I'm going to take my flower and I'm going to put some glue right in the middle here. And then I'm going to stick my little scrunched piece of tissue paper right there in the middle. And you got a flower. Now, if we want a stem, we could use the paper towel, the toilet paper roll too. Or I had some craft sticks. Remember craft sticks? We've done some things with these. You might have some of these at home. And I took a marker again, and I rubbed my marker, green marker, all along it to make it look green. And now I'm going to take, I'll try this glue this time, but you can use either. Make sure this is open. I'm going to put a little dot of glue here. And I'm going to stick my flower on there. Okay? And then I thought it, just so I could have my flower stand up, I'm going to stick this one in here like that. Now, this one here, I could sit, I've got this egg carton, I can just stick it right on top of there if I want. So that's just for me to show you, but you could display it however you like. Okay, so let's see, what other kind of things could we use if we didn't have some of the things I just used? Well, here's a paper plate. Maybe you have a little paper plate. What I did with this one, I'm going to set this one over here because it keeps falling over. What I did with this one is I took my paper plate and I painted it with some yellow watercolor paint. So maybe you have one of these at home or some other type of paint. So for me, I decided to make my flower yellow. So I've got the yellow watercolor and I've got some water in this dish. And I've got some newspaper down too, because I don't want to make a mess. So I'm going to put this on my newspaper, and I'm going to take my water, and let me move this so you can see, and I'm going to take my plate, and I'm going to paint it. Now, I didn't have any yellow tempera paint, and I'm using watercolor, so it's going to be a little bit light. I'm not sure if you'll even be able to really see the colors. You can see it's kind of turning yellow. It's going to be watercolors tend to be a very light, they call it pastel. It's a very light bit of color, but pretty, I think. So anyway, you need to get lots of water in there, and you can paint your whole plate. And then when it dries, you can, if you want, you can tear the edges a little bit. So you can kind of have your petals bend and forward a little bit and give it a little bit of shape. Now, what do you think this is? This is actually part of an egg carton. So I cut out like one of the little cups from the egg carton. And then I only have 2 colors of this paint at home, but I had orange paint. So this is tempera paint. So I squirted a little tempera paint on my plate here, and I had a paintbrush. And this one you don't need the water until you're ready to clean up. And I painted my egg cup. Now that takes a little longer to dry than the watercolor. So I'm just going to show you with my already dry egg cup. I then glued it to the middle of the plate that I had painted with the watercolor. And then I also stuck that to a craft stick that I had colored green with my marker. So that's another option. Now, what if you don't have a craft stick and you don't have a toilet paper tube? What can you use? Well, I had some Chinese takeout, and I got chopsticks. So I also have a flower that I used a chopstick for the stem. So I took my marker again, or you could take your watercolor paint like this. I have a green watercolor in my watercolor paint. So I put this in the green, and you can rub that along your stick, and that will turn it green. If you want your stem to be green, it doesn't have to be, but that just kind of is nice. Now this one, what if I didn't have a paper plate and I had some paper? Maybe in this case, I had some yellow paper, and let me grab it. Let's see. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I have some yellow paper. So what if I only had white paper? Could I take my paint or my marker or my crayon and make it the color I want it to be? Of course I could. So I'm going to use, remember I didn't have a regular child safety scissors, but I do have one with the little bumps. So I'm going to cut myself a circle. So first I'm going to make myself a square. So I've got my square, and then I'm going to kind of cut around, kind of cut the corners off. And then it's more like a circle. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because flowers are all very individual. So here is going to be the outside of my flower. And now I've got some orange paper. And again, if I had white paper, I could color this paper whatever color I wanted with a marker or crayon or paint. And I'm going to cut out a smaller circle. So this circle isn't really very round at all, but that's okay. And then let me make it just a tiny bit rounder. Somehow I got a little off track there. Okay, so now what if I put this circle inside this circle? And I could take my glue stick or my, I'm always losing my glue stick. Oh, there it is. There's my glue stick. Okay, so I'm gonna put some glue on the paper. Boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna stick it on here. And then maybe I have something else that I wanna put in the middle. Maybe I have a pom-pom. Or maybe I have a little muffin cup. This is like a mini, this is even smaller than a muffin cup. I think this is like a little candy cup. But this is really tiny. Yeah, that one's kind of there. So I could stick something like that in the middle. Or I have a little bit of a bigger muffin cup, but still small, like a mini muffin cup. Could stick that in the middle. Or I could take a button. Or I could put a cap. Maybe on this one, I'll do that. I'll put a cap. I'm going to glue my cap, so I'm going to put a little glue in the middle. Now, it might not stick right away because it's going to have to dry, but I'm just going to hold on there for a minute. And then maybe I want to put a little scrunched up piece of tissue paper again, or maybe I'll try a pom-pom. Let's see. Here's a little pom-pom. So I don't know what all you have. Maybe some of you got your craft bag, supply bag from Cherry Preschool, and you got some of these things. Or maybe you already had some of these things at home. Or maybe you can collect them when you use up a bottle of something and you can save the cap. Or you have an extra button lying around or whatever. But you can do all kinds of things with it. It doesn't always have to be the same, right? So let me see if I have, here, I'll use this one. I'll stick this one on this toilet paper roll again. So let me stick that on there. And we have a flower. This one, the flower is really big and the stem is just little, but sometimes you see little flowers just barely poking up out of the grass. And then this has to dry for that to stick, but when it's dry, it should stick pretty well. So let's see what we have. I'm going to set this aside. I think you got the idea, right? So those are all fun ideas to make some flowers. And then I have, how many flowers do I have right now on here? Let me get one more flower from over on our tray. How about this one I think we just made this one. Let's put this one in there. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now let's look at I still have my good old whiteboard that a friend of mine let me borrow. She's letting me keep it this whole time. Isn't that nice of her? Okay, so all right, and where's my little paper towel? There it is. All right, so I've got a paper towel, and we're going to sing a song. Or actually, it's a little rhyme. It's not really a song. It's not really to music, but it goes like this. How many fingers do you have? 5? So you can hold up your 5 fingers. 5 spring flowers, and not one more. So there's 5, and there's 5 spring flowers. Let's take, and then I've got 5 here. 1 got picked, and now there were 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to erase our 5. We're going to erase, I've got 5 flowers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to erase those too. Okay. 4 spring flowers as bright as they could be. 1, 2, 3, 4. One got picked, so let's pick a flower. And now there are 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's erase our 4, and we'll erase these 4 flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 bright flowers grew and grew and grew. One got picked, and now there are 1, 2, a tall one and a short one. So let's erase our number 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 bright flowers sitting in the sun. One got picked, and now there is 1. So let's erase our 2. 1, 2, and there's our 1. 1 bright flowers, 1 spring flower, not having much fun. It got picked, and now there are none. So let's erase our 1, and we'll erase our last little flower. No more flowers, but look, I picked them all, so I have a nice bouquet. I'm going to find something, maybe I could find a nice cup or something to put these in for decoration. So I hope that you can try to make some flowers at your house too, with some things that you have at your house. Okay, now what? We have story time. And this book is called Old Bear by Kevin Henkes. Where do you think Old Bear's going? By the time Old Bear fell asleep for the winter, it was snowing hard. Soon he was dreaming. I wonder what he's dreaming about. He dreamed that spring had come and he was a cub again. Oh, look, he's a little cub in a flower. The flowers were as big as trees. He took a nap in a giant pink crocus. These are the little flowers that are close to the ground. You might see some of those. They're very pretty spring color flowers. Then he dreamed that it was summer. The sun was a daisy and the leaves were butterflies. Daisy and butterflies. Part of the sky clouded over and it rained blueberries. He's catching the blueberries in his mouth. Next, he dreamed of autumn. Everything was yellow and orange and brown, even the birds and the fish and the water. Wow, that's so cool. Those are the fall colors. I don't know if you remember back as far back as fall when the leaves turned colors. After that, he dreamed that winter was back. The world was covered in ice. It was night, and the sky was blazing with stars of all colors. The cold went on forever. Look at those beautiful stars. Old Bear slept and dreamed, dreamed and slept. When he finally woke up, it seemed to him that no time had passed since he had fallen asleep. He yawned, he stretched. He was hibernating for the winter. He poked his head out of his den to see if it was still snowing. He blinked and blinked again. Ooh, that sky looks nice and blue. And when Old Bear walked out into the beautiful spring day, it took him a minute to realize that he wasn't dreaming. Look at all those spring flowers. And there off he goes. The end. Those are some really beautiful pictures. I love Kevin Henkes does some nice pictures. I think Michelle read the book about spring that he had also written and illustrated, I believe. Okay, so before we go, I thought, because I'm really missing you, and I remember a song we used to sometimes sing, and it always made me feel good, and I hope you like it too. Remember Skidamarinka-Dink? So you have to put your elbow in your hand, and you can wiggle your fingers. I'm going to move this back so you can see. Okay, remember, and then we're going to switch, right? Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening under the silvery moon. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. I really mean it. I love you. Okay, until next time, have a good afternoon or rest of your day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye, Orange Room friends.